Well, hello there. It's Dr. Brian McKay, not just a chiropractor. I want to talk to you today. I've just finished a book written by a German medical doctor, Michael Nahias. And the topic was about lithium orotate. And lithium orotate is a supplement, but it's one of these wild things that, when you learn something, it's like, wow. It kind of blew me away. I want to share with you some of the stuff I've learned about lithium orotate. First of all, lithium, is one of the things you put people on for manic depressives and the heavy duties, ADHD, compulsive disorders, And what happens is it increases sensitivity to serotonin. But what a lot of these medications the big pharma is going to put out there it's too much. And what this doctor has in his studies, and there's plenty of fact to back it up as well. I'm not going to go into all the minutiae for you, but microdosing lithium orotate. Now, lithium, is used in batteries. It's one of the first original elements, and I had a good schooling on when I read the book. It was a pretty heavy duty read, but I'm really glad I did because I'm going to start taking lithium orotate. It actually should have been delivered yesterday. Didn't get here, but anyhow. So what it does is lithium orotate is a naturally occurring element. Lithium naturally occurring. And to get into the system, orotate's a salt. And they combine in what's called a microdose, 1 microgram, tiny, tiny bit. And what ends up happening is it works what's called the hippocampus. And the hippocampus is a memory center in your brain. It's a fascinating thing, the hippocampus. And what the lithium orotate does, according to Dr. Nahias, it has the ability to improve cognitive function, enhance mood, and actually increase bone strength. But it also has anti-inflammatory properties. It stimulates, when you have a cytokine storm, inflammation occurs. This really puts the brake on having a cytokine storm, which is a whole other topic I won't go into today, but that's where you get the inflammation. You produce interleukin-6, and these are, and limited inflammation is always good. Chronic inflammation is not. But according to Nahias, there is promise that this can limit inflammation in the body. So just that alone, if you want to improve your cognitive function, enhance mood, increase bone strength, well, let's add in decrease inflammation in the body. So, like I said, it's been used to manage depression, mental issues, and also alcoholism. But let's go over some of the benefits in detail, and hopefully you'll take it. Now, again, the thing here is 1 microgram. That's the key thing. Is you can get it on Amazon. I'm not a vitamin stocker, but I'm kind of psyched about it myself. With the studies he's pointed out, people with this high level of lithium orotate, the lithium in the water, because it's an element, so it's going to be in basically everything. But in small doses, there's a lot less depression in those areas, a lot less suicides. So it's kind of, if you want to get the book, I have a copy of it. You can more than welcome to stop by, and see what I'm talking about. So let's go for cognitive. Lithium has been found to help encourage the growth of new neurons and prevent damage from existing neurons from stress-induced cortisol. So when in animal studies, it's shown to stimulate neurogenesis with animals with Down syndrome. So it strengthens the signals between the neurons. The neurons are the nerve cells, and it helps boost the communication between different parts of the brain. So, listen, I'm going on a limb, but it's just potentially helpful for Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, stuff like that. But as a chiropractor, I don't treat that, obviously. But it's enough. No one's really fixing, any of those issues as far as I'm concerned. So here's the other thing too is, according to the study he did, lithium also helps increase N-acetylaspartate, NAA, and acetylaspartate, which has been linked to higher IQ scores, and it's a neuroprotective amino acid. So imagine just taking a simple supplement that might just help all these things. I think it's definitely worth considering. So, and it's not an expensive supplement, which is another good thing. All right. So again, psychiatric benefits. If you're going to take the pharmaceutical, you're going to get much larger levels of lithium, and that has side effects. This is 1 microgram. It's not going to really have much in the way of side effects. But think about it this way: lithium helps regulate dopamine levels in the brain, and people with these different, like, such as gambling addictions or obsessive compulsive disorder or alcoholism, drug addictions, that tames things down. That tames things down an awful lot. He also went so far as to say people with anorexia and other eating disorders have had some success with lithium supplementation. So you got some pretty good stuff to, and lithium is not an easy one to get. And as a matter of fact, it's really interesting. It's been outlawed in Europe. I mean, you can get it if you buy it on Amazon and have it shipped in, but for the most part, it's one of these things that's baffling. And if you want to know all that's going to be, go read the book. All right, like I said, I have it here. I'm more than happy to lend it to you. So for alcoholism, it's a supplement they're using for people going through withdrawal from alcohol. So or those who are recovering from alcoholism. Study shows that there's a less frequency of relapse in 18 months after quitting. So this is like, wow. I mean, there's some good stuff coming out that are non-pharmaceutical. And, listen, and it's not very expensive, a lot less expensive to take in the lithium. And you don't have to go through the side effects. So here's one too: is suggestion is helps prevent bone degeneration. Increasing bone strength and reducing the risk of fractures. Now, this is citing a Iranian study from 2009, and researchers found that patients receiving lithium supplementation had lower bone cell turnover and higher bone densities. So it's kind of a miracle. It's an element, okay? So it's not really a drug; it's an element. So in longevity, small doses of lithium orotate. The other thing too is lithium orotate is the preferred mechanism. Do not, unless you're going to try the lithium orotate, don't try it at all, okay? Because the lithium hooks up with the salt and the orotate to get into your system a lot easier and go through the blood-brain barrier and get into that hippocampus in your brain. So lithium improves mitochondrial function, thus increasing cellular energy output, encouraging, more energy. The mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell. And if it improves mitochondrial function, that alone should be a reason you want to take lithium orotate, okay? It's just wild. The more I learned about it, the more I'm like, holy crap, this is wonderful. I mentioned a little bit earlier, higher lithium amounts in drinking water have been linked to longer lifespans versus people who have lower lithium levels. And so that's wild. I mean, to me, this is just going, I'm baffled, okay? And hopefully it stimulates you to either learn more about lithium orotate as a supplement and explore it. Because who wants to be less depressed? Who wants to be happier? Who wants to less neurodegeneration? So let's get a little technical. Neurodegeneration, okay? Neurodegeneration is when we get dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, all that bad stuff that is getting worse and worse as we get older and older. So lithium stimulates a process called autophagy, okay? That's where cells recycle themselves and reuse the raw material. So this is where it could be potentially helpful in warding off neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, as what happens is you recycle the damaged proteins that can stimulate healthy cell growth. So in animal studies, lithium prevented nerve cell death in subjects with Huntington's disease and problems with NMDA receptor function. I'm not going to touch into NMDA receptor function at all. I might lose you and have a hard time speaking about it without messing up my words. So here's another thing too: it's shown to reduce the symptoms of Tourette's and reduce involuntary spastic body tics. So that is wild, absolutely wild. To me, it's just, so again, that's the stuff I'm pointing out is just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, so the benefits. All right, lithium orotate has been effective for some people to minimize cluster migraine headaches. It's been studied for its power to stimulate white blood cell production in people with autoimmune diseases. Uh, it goes on, but now this is getting out far out to left field. I mean, if you have hepatitis, obviously you got to treat that, but it may help treatment some of the symptoms of hepatitis. These are not verified scientifically. They're also saying some people believe that low level lithium can also help reduce epileptic seizures. So it's just there's no reason not to take it. I mean, seriously, if you want, again, you want to be happier, you want less neurodegeneration, stronger bones, less headaches, not expensive, easy to take. So I can't say enough about it. Now, if you're taking lithium, there's lithium toxicity. So that's the problem with the high level of stuff you do. When you would take, like some of the people who take pharmaceutical lithium, there's a thing called Huntington's chorea, different tremors, tremors, weakness, fatigue, headaches, vomiting. So that's why the toxicity is the problem. You don't want to take anything more than 1 microgram. So it's just not a good thing. So I hope I shared enough about lithium orotate. Look online, one microgram. Okay, 1 microgram. Milligram, no, 1 microgram. Safe to take, in my estimation, if you have questions. But this is not well out there in the grand scheme of things of people looking to protect to stop the neurodegenerative process. So if you got questions, feel free to give me a call because I am really, really excited about this. I mean, it's just like, wow. And I picked it up on a podcast when I was working out, and enough that I actually went out and bought the book. So what I want to suggest is if you have a question, give me a call. Or the book is called The Conspiracy Against Lithium. And the doctor is Michael Nahias. You can buy it on Amazon. And I think it would do you well if you're interested in making your brain work a little bit better. And it's not invasive. Clear brain fog. Sweep away stress damage. That autophagy thing is also really mind-blowing, and how the dead cells can get regenerated again, which is wild. So the other thing too is a big misconception: prescription versus supplement. Lithium is a massive dose, can have toxic side effects. Okay, and the lithium orotate, is just a natural mineral bound to an acid in our bodies that it can easily make, allowing it to cross the blood-brain barrier in small, safe microdoses. So when we get stressed, our bodies pump out cortisol, which can damage brain cells over time. Lithium orotate can act as a neuroprotectant. Think of it as a broom that helps sweep away the stress-induced damage. It also helps the brain grow brand new pathways, neurogenesis, and boost cellular energy. So, microgram, lithium orotate. You have a question, 203-656-3636. Dr. Brian McKay. I hope you're excited about this as I am, because I am just thrilled. All right. So, again, Dr. Brian McKay. I work at Core Health at Darien, 203-656-3636. Hit me up for a question. I'm more than happy to answer you. Listen, have a great day. It is July 7th. You take care, and hopefully you'll start ordering Amazon. 1 microgram. That's the thing. 1 microgram. And try it out for a month and see if you don't feel any better. Actually, you know what? Try it out for 3 months. You got to do a little bit more than that. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you learned a lot, because I have. Thanks very much.